Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be my monthly update for Baby Pan That Palette and Pan That Palette. I'm sorry this is a few days late. It has been a crazy week. We had the stomach flu, not me, my kiddos. They had the stomach flu last week. My son had his first class project due last week and I spent an embarrassing amount of time working on that project. Like it just sucked the entire week up. So sorry this is a few days late. I am still playing catch up, but let's start with my Baby Pan That palette. This is just a palette with 5 pans or less that I work on until it's finished because I have a lot of them, really. I have a lot of small palettes. I feel like a lot of people over the years tend to declutter those things and I just keep them, and they've multiplied. They've had little babies in the drawers that they live in and they've multiplied, and now there's little palette families and I need to deal with them. So Baby Pan That palette is my solution, and I am trying to whittle those categories down very, very, very slowly. I have been working on a duo from Smashbox. This is the full exposure duo. It was a sample I received in an Ipsy bag many years ago. I'm not even going to show you a before picture from last month because today is the first time I've used this palette since last month's update. So there's really no progress to speak of. It is a beautiful palette. I really like it. Yeah, it's just this matte and shimmery duo. They're both kind of a neutral, middle of the road brown shade. It's crumbling, so I don't want to tip it too much, but it's literally the only eyeshadows I have on today. It's just a really nice, simple look. I always like it. But yeah, this is the first time I've worn this duo in the past month, unfortunately. I've just been like eyeshadow ADHD over the last 28 days. I will be continuing to work on that until it's done, so it's in this project for the long haul. All right, let's move on to my Pan That palette. I am participating in the Size Matters theme, which was created by the Fantastic Ladies. Specifically, I believe it was created by Jessica Lee. And you can take that to mean whatever you want it to be, but it could be like bulky packaging or an eyeshadow palette with a lot of pans or anything. Size matters. As long as it fits the theme, size matters. The Fantastic Ladies are a group on Facebook that just talk about project panning, and we come up with a lot of group ideas and it's a lot of fun. So if you'd like to join, I will leave a link to the Facebook group for them down below. You're more than welcome to join. They will ask you a few questions to make sure you're not like a robot, or I think they just want to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into if you're joining this group. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you answer the questions, they'll let you in. It's not like a test or anything. So given the theme Size Matters, I decided to go with my e.l.f. 100 pan palette for my Pan That palette. So let's take a look at what this palette looked like last month. Now, at last month's update, I remember saying that I thought it was possible I could hit pan on 5 new eyeshadow pans this past month. And when I went back and edited that video, I remember sitting there like horrified, like, why on earth would I say something like that? That is insanity. Why would I make such a claim like I could hit 5 pans in 1 month? That is crazy talk. You guys know how long it takes me to hit pan on one eyeshadow. Why would I even think for a second that I could possibly hit pan on 5 eyeshadows? But you guys, I hit pan on 5 eyeshadows last month. So here is what it looks like now. All right, so much to talk about. Here are the 5 pans I've hit in the past month. I hit pan on this guy up here. I actually hit like 3 separate pans. There's one down there and there's one smaller one up there, but there's a pan. I hit pan here. I hit pan here and here and here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, those are the 5 pans I hit in the past month, which brings me to a total of 10 pans hit in this palette now. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10% of this palette now has pan. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. We are only 2 months into this project and I have hit pan on 10% of this palette. I am so excited. I've also really expanded the pan on this pink shade. I've continued to use it a lot. I just love that shade. I'm actually going to miss it quite a bit once it's gone, but luckily I did a whole video shopping my stash for dusty pinks and I have lots of them. I will survive, but yeah, I really enjoy that shadow. I almost am starting to wonder if I might be able to finish it off by next month's update. I don't know if I can. I have some ideas about what I want to do for the next month and they don't really involve that pink eyeshadow, but it is possible. I am back to trying to use this black shadow as much as possible. I got this whole like half a row of like blacks and dark grays and I want to like make as much progress on them. It really doesn't look like there's much progress, but I have been trying to incorporate this black eyeshadow in as much as possible. I know there were a lot of suggestions at last month's update that I should use this as an eyeliner. That really doesn't work for me, and I don't know why, but I have tried that in the past. I still remember Amber F always talking about using her dark eyeshadows as an eyeliner or to set her eyeliner. If I use like a regular gel eyeliner, I don't have any issues. But if I try to set my gel eyeliner with an eyeshadow, or if I just use a black eyeshadow, for some reason, that eyeliner just like literally makes a half moon shape on my eyelid. That black shadow just transfers right up to my eyelid, and then I got this black like moon shape on my eyelid. So unfortunately, it doesn't really work for me. I don't know if that's just a me problem or if any of you have ever had that problem, but there were so many comments suggesting I use these blacks as eyeliners and it just never works out for me. I am still using these two brown shades predominantly as brow powders. That's how I hit pan on them. It's what I have on my brows today. I am using these two shades mixed together as a face highlight. I'm not wearing them today, but obviously I used them enough to hit pan. And this white shade I use to set my eyeshadow primer. So I am trying to multitask this palette as much as possible. I do sometimes use these as blushes still, like this area here and these pinks. So let's talk about a couple of the looks that I created using this palette over the past month. For the first couple weeks of February, I was really loving the pink eyeshadows. It was Valentine's Day season, and I was definitely drawn towards the pinks. And the first look I did was using the Dusty Pink and this Cranberry shade from MAC that I'm trying to hit pan on, paired with the shimmery pink shade from this Razzle Dazzle Berry palette. This was not one of the palettes I'd picked out to focus on, but I did do a couple looks with this eyeshadow right here, the shimmery pink one. It is so amazing, and it layers really well on top of this Cranberry shade. So I would put the Cranberry shade all over the lid and put this kind of like in the center of my lid, and then I would just kind of blend out my crease with that Dusty Pink shade right here. Another look that I did that ended up coming out very similar looking, but it's using all different eyeshadows, focuses more on like this raspberry shade, this bright hot pink shade down here. I loved putting that shade in the crease. I used a little bit of the black in the outer corner, and then all over my lid I had on this taupey shade called Birthday Wish from ColourPop that ended up looking surprisingly pink when the whole look came together, but this was what I had on the inner half of my eyelid. And my goal is to hit pan on this, and I still haven't done that yet either. One of my most favorite looks that I did over the past month, shockingly, was with this shimmery blue shade up here. I put the Dusty Pink in my crease once again, and I used the purple shadow stick that I had in my 50 Shades of Purple project. It was just an Avon purple like eyeshadow stick, eyeshadow base, and I swiped that all over my eyelid, and then I topped it off with this kind of shimmery blue shade, which almost immediately got hard pan, which stinks. But that was without a doubt my favorite look of the whole month. I loved that look, and I only did it that one day, but that was my favorite look. And then the last look that I did with this palette was kind of getting ready for March, which I'm planning on doing a lot of these looks over the next couple weeks, but it was focusing more on these greens. So I went back to this awesome shade down here, which I consider to be a bit of a dupe for the shade New Wave in the ABH Subculture palette. I put this all throughout my crease and my transition area, and I used this gold shade from Sephora, which I have a usage goal all over the inner half of my lid, and I used this green right here on the outer half of my lid. And that look I really enjoyed as well, and actually several of you gave me compliments on that look as well. So I am going to be trying to do a lot of those looks over the next 2 weeks as we get near St. Patrick's Day. So I am not really loving this green row, to be honest. These kind of greens are not really the greens I'm personally drawn to. I'm drawn to very like silvery, cool tone greens, and these are just kind of like grass greens to me. But with it being March and with it being St. Patrick's Day, I am feeling inspired to try and get as much use out of those greens as I can over the next 2 weeks. So I am going to try and focus kind of on these 2 rows here over the next 2 weeks. I don't know what's going to come of it. I don't know if I'll be able to hit any pan. Actually, I don't really have anything at this point that I feel like I'm close to hitting pan on that I don't already have pan on. The one that has the biggest dip at this point is the New Wave dupe down here, so maybe I could hit pan on that one next month, but it's certainly not looking like it's going to be like a 5 pan a month, you know, habit. Like, I don't think I'm gonna hit 5 pans over the next month. Maybe I can hit 1, and hopefully I could expand some of the existing pans I already have. I also did explore a couple of new shadows over the past month, like this one down here, which looks like absolutely nothing, but it was super beautiful. I can't really remember what look I did with this, but I used this throughout the crease, and it was beautiful. I think I put this on my eyelid as well, and I used this in the crease. It was a lovely look. I don't think I got a picture of it, but that paired together really nicely. But yeah, not much else happened. I just really zeroed in on those 5 eyeshadows, and I am so excited that I actually hit pan on all 5. I can't believe I did it. Very excited. Okay, so what I've been trying to do every month is pick like companion palettes that are in other projects to really focus in on and complement my Pan That palette. And last month I picked 4 different products, which was a little bit much, but I wanted to run through those really quickly and then talk about what I want to use as my focus products for the month of March. The first focus product I chose was this MAC Classic Cutie palette. It looks like this on the inside. And it turns out that this palette stands alone. On the days, I did get a chance to use this a few days over the past month, but on the days that I used this, I didn't need my Pan That palette for anything. There wasn't anything that I needed to reach for. I just did an entire look using this palette alone, and I loved it. I think I mentioned in another video recently that I got 2 compliments. I think it was my Pan in Every palette video, that in the past month, that there were 2 days where I wore makeup that I was complimented for my eyeshadow, and one was using that shimmery pink from this shadow, and the other one was the day I wore this palette. This is gorgeous. I absolutely loved it. I threw this matte lavender shade in my crease. I put this shimmery purple shade all over my eyelid, and then I blended this deeper kind of plummy shade in my outer corner and my lower lash line. It was easy, it was quick, and it was beautiful. I didn't need anything else. And so that's good to know. I'm glad I finally got a couple uses on this. I am trying to hit a 10 use goal for 4 of these eyeshadows by April 15th. And so I did get a couple uses in with this, but it's not something I can combine with my Pan That palette, or that I would need to combine with my Pan That palette. So I'm not going to keep this as a focus palette for this month, but I am going to try and continue working on this palette to hit my 10 use goal by April 15th. Next is MAC's Cranberry. I've been working on this for a couple months. This is in my Dude You Pan My Battleship project. Yes, that project is still going on. And I'm just trying to hit pan on this shadow. It's going very slow. I was hoping to have pan by today, and I don't. The dip is pretty big, but it's not pan yet. So we're gonna keep this in. I'm gonna keep working on this, and I'm gonna keep trying to hit pan on it because I really need to. Elizabeth is going to kick my butt in that project if I don't hit pan on this soon. The next focus product was this Super Shock Shadow in Birthday Wish. Again, my goal is to hit pan and I didn't make it happen. I reached for this a lot over the past month. I did end up using Duraline with this to make it amazing again. I've been having a lot of fun with my Duraline from Inglot, and I do think I could have pan soon, but not yet. And then the last focus product is the single from Sephora in All That Glitters. And I have a usage goal on this, and this is in my June Bride Project Pan project. And I have not hit my usage goal. So that's a little bit disappointing. It would have been nice to at least hit one goal out of those 4 products in the past month. I mean, it was great that I hit 5 pans in my palette, but it would have been nice to hit one of my goals on one of those products as well, but that didn't happen. So let's talk about my focus products for the month of March. First of all, I'm going to bring these 2 back in for yet another month. This is Max Cranberry. This is All the Glitters from Sephora. I want to keep working on these because I really want to hit my goals on both of these, and I don't know when it's going to happen. I would love for it to happen in March, but I don't know. I also think this gold will pair really nicely with the green column that I'm thinking about focusing on over the next month. And yeah, so I would like to see how this works in combination with those green shadows and maybe get my usage goal met on this one. The next product that I want to bring in as a focus product is my Too Faced Life's a Festival palette. I feel like I'm really close to hitting pan on this top shade up here as well. And again, I think this will pair really nicely with the green shadows that I'm focusing in on for my Pan That palette for St. Patty's Day. So I would like to see what usage I could get on this in the next month as well. I hate it when I sit there and start saying I think I can hit pan, because if it doesn't happen, then I'm just really disappointed in myself. And finally, the last product that I want to try and focus on over the next month, and I mean, even if I just use it 2 or 3 times, I'll be happy, is this. This is my L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow in Burst Into Bloom. And this has been in my 50 Shades of Purple project all year long, and I have not used it even once. I think I have a usage goal of like 20 or 30 uses. I'm seriously doubting I'll be able to hit that goal on this by the finale, but I would hate for that project to end and I didn't get some use out of this eyeshadow in the meantime. And I'm really curious to see what combinations I could come up with that pair this with my Pan That palette. I mean, obviously the dusty pink will go with it. You guys know that, but I want to see what other combinations I could come up with using this single, you know, pressed pigment in combination with some of these shades. So those are my 4 focus products for the next month. I think that is everything. These videos are, my Pan That palette videos have always been very short, but with me talking about what looks I'm creating and focus palettes and all these things, it's made these videos a lot longer. So yeah, I've been talking for a long time, but I'm really happy to have 5 new pans in this palette. And I don't think there's a snowball's chance in, you know what, that I will have 5 more pans in the next month. But if I could hit 1 pan, I would be really happy with that. And if I could expand the pans, particularly in that dusty pink shade. Hitting pan is a lot of fun, but ultimately what I need is empty pans for my low buy bank. And so I am, you know, interested in seeing how far I can get with this pink shade over the next month. I might have to repress it. It isn't that easy to reach into that corner. It's getting hard to pick up product in these corners. So I might need to repress that shadow in the next month. If I do, I'll take a picture of it and talk about it. But yeah, I need to start getting some empty pans for my low buy bank, and that is the low hanging fruit. You guys aren't gonna believe this, but I think I see pan showing in this shade. I mean, it is just the tiniest speck, but I think I could see pan in that New Wave dupe shade right now. Like, I never noticed it before, but at this angle, it is reflecting right in my eyeball. I think I will have definitive pan showing the next time I use that. Holy cow. So I guess these pans are just much easier to hit, because there's no way I could hit this many pans in a month with any other eyeshadow palette. Oh, I gotta find some uses for this green up here, this greeny yellow. I gotta find some ways to use that in the next month too, for sure. Apparently I could just talk about this stupid palette all day long, but I will stop myself right here and stop torturing you guys. That is everything for this update. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Obviously, I'm having a lot of fun with my Pan That palette this year, and I'm really motivated to, you know, make as much progress as I can. I'm trying to incorporate this palette on some level every single day, whether it is being multitasked as a highlight or an eyebrow powder or a blush or an eyeshadow. So I'm doing my best, and I hope to have some good progress for you guys next month. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.